Brock White was the guy. And what had happened was he called me up randomly one night, said, hey, I want to go meet some chicks. Quite literally.
He called me 3 or 4 times at work, and I thought it was an emergency, so I took my break, and I called him back and said, you know, what's going on? He said, well, I need to meet girls. Will you take me out? And I said, all right, well, I will. And so he's like, do you care if I bring this other guy? His name's Marshall. You probably know him. He rode you. I said, no, I don't know him. Go ahead, whatever.
And he says, I know of this one gal. She's got some friends. Let's just go hang out. I haven't seen the guy for a while. So I jump in the truck with him, and we head down to go pick up this gal. It was a little interesting there at the beginning when he said, be careful of her mom. But anyway, she was all starry-eyed and everything. And we head down to Wildwood, and no one else was available, or none of her friends were. And so Brock was kind of like, oh man.
Brock just kind of cut his losses. He was just like, you guys go dance, you talk. And I thought he was pretty cute, so I was trying to hang out with him, and he took me out to dance, and he was teaching me how to swing dance. I'd never done it before, and I loved that. And I felt like we were just kind of on the same page, It was, yeah. We
just kind of through that connection there, started texting each other, but.
We went out a week later, and we went back down to Wildwood again, and that was kind of our thing for a while, was just go out and dance. And I wasn't really sure if it was like a date or if it was just us hanging out. I was kind of hoping it was a date, but I wasn't really sure. We like to travel. We do a lot of traveling. We've been, he went down to Georgia with me for Worlds for barrel racing, and we've been to Alabama, South Carolina, Texas a few times. And we go all over the place. It's always an adventure. It's never the same thing twice, which is fun. Yeah. We usually are the type of people, we're not your typical tourists. We know the road pretty well, and we get out there and we find new things to see and kind of make our own adventures out of it. So.
We did visit, 6 jewelry stores within 3 weekends. So that was, if that didn't give me a hint, I don't know what would. And so now the advantage to that is I did figure out what she was looking for. So that part was cool. I went over to the jewelry store and I sat down with the gals and I said I'd like to custom design a ring. They looked at me and their eyes got all big and wide, and I'm like, I want this, this, and this, and I'm looking for this. And if we take the diamonds off of here, what does it look like? And so at the end of the day, we got a pretty unique ring. And the girls at the jewelry store really loved it, and she loves it. And so I definitely took the time, and I wanted to, because she's something that I never thought I'd come across, and actually kind of least expected, honestly. And I wanted to show her through the ring, not necessarily price tag, but just how much she means to me and how special she is to me.
He picked me up for dinner, and he had told me to dress up or something, and I, didn't think much of it, because every once in a while we do go out and, do a real fancy dinner. And we start driving into town, and he gets a text from his sister, and it's like, she says, well, hey, the water line burst in our in the barn, and can you come help? And he's kind of like the handyman around here, and when something goes wrong, he's the one they call. So that's happened before, we're like, all dressed out, ready to go on a date, so we need to go and fix something or take care of something. So not a big deal. So we head up there, and all of a sudden he does this weird thing, and he like taps the gas a couple times on my truck. He's driving my big diesel truck, and I look at him funny. I'm like, why'd you do that? And he's like, I just like trucks. I just haven't driven one in a while. I like trucks. It's like, okay, fair enough.
The whole way over there, I'm sitting here going, I hope she doesn't figure this out. I hope she doesn't figure this out. And we get over the truck, and I rev the truck a couple times to let him know that we're there.
So we go in the barn and I'm looking around for this water and I'm not seeing water anywhere. If we go up to the top in the loft, you know, we'll be able to see out the back. He said, I think all the water's in the back. And so there's this really steep set of stairs that goes up to the loft, and I'm in this long dress and I'm looking at him and I'm just like, I don't think I'm gonna go up there. And he looked at me like, you're coming up here. I said, no, I don't think I really, and he's just like, come on, you gotta go.
So we were going up the stairs and I'm sitting here going, oh man, and I'm getting nervous and trying to act calm and everything. And we get up there and she goes out in front of me because I hid the ring over in the corner. And so it worked out pretty good to where she walked out there and I was able to sneak behind and grab the ring real quick and stuff it in my pocket.
We got up there and I immediately see there's like lights that are strung from the beams, and there's hay bales with candles on them and like all these like cool decorations everywhere. And he was getting the ring ready and everything. I was looking around, and then he pulled out a piece of paper and he read a little thing to me about how that's how he shows love, is through like an act of service, and that was like his way to show me, you know. And
I'm like, okay, breathe in, breathe out, and I got down and asked her to marry me.
I said yes, and then I was thinking, wow, you know, this is amazing, it's beautiful. You know, he took so much time with it, and he said, I wish everybody could see it. And then he's just like, okay, everybody can come out now. And there's, what, 30 people, 30, 40 people in the loft of this barn, like all of our family members and our friends, and most of the guys who are now his groomsmen, and some of my bridesmaids were there, and it was super cool.
I guess if you want to ask on the kid part, we're
still figuring that number out.
We're still figuring that number out.
I like 4.
I like 3. And sometimes she comes back with 5. And so
we'll see when we get there. That's not gonna be for a long time. But
see what God wants for us, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll just go with whatever He gives us. But
we would love if our kids rope and ride and barrels and all that good stuff.
You can't make them, but you know, there is such a thing as bringing them up the way you want to go, right? I think the Bible talks about that. I'm just gonna put my kid in a pair of Wranglers and hope it goes the way I want. But I think we've talked about traveling. We love Iowa, but we're just, you know, we're kind of wanderers sometimes. So we wanted to get out and maybe go move down south, go to like Texas, or go out west somewhere and spend some time doing business down there, and then, you know, come back around and settle down when we want to have kids and raise them in Iowa, because this is the best place to grow up. I hope everybody's just like joyful and having a good time, because like we are very social people and we love to laugh and have a good time and entertain, and so we just hope that everybody just, you know, celebrates our love, but also just realizes that like we are so excited they're there and to be with us, and it wouldn't be the same if it was just us, and how all of them are important. And it's kind of cool to see all the, you know, different walks of life come together and all celebrate the same thing. So hopefully they just have a great time. And we just want to say thank you for coming and taking the time out of your life to come and watch something that's really important to us.
We really appreciate each and every one of you for coming. It really means the world to us, and thank you all for coming.
Don't be afraid to get out on the dance floor and have a good time, because we don't want to be the only ones out there. And yeah, eat, drink, and be merry.